Welcome to another edition of Fantasy Basketball Weekly. I'm Amber Wilson, and joining me is senior fantasy writer Jamey Eisenberg. So, Jamey, let's start out talking about two teams in the East that have a lot of players drafted high in our drafts here on CBSSports.com, but they're two teams that lately have been going very different directions fantasy-wise, the Heat and the Bulls.
Yeah, it's crazy to see the way that these players have been playing because you're looking at these guys as key cogs in your fantasy rotation, and they're really not living up to snuff. Looking at the Heat, you got Shaquille O'Neal, Dwayne Wade, Ricky Davis, Udonis Haslem. Obviously, Wade and Shaq are starters in everybody's lineups. And Wade's still slow getting back from the shoulder and knee surgeries, getting back into the flow of things. One big game, one bad game. So you just have to sort of take your lumps with him and hope he gets going. Shaq obviously is going to continue to sort of develop into this role as a number 2 fantasy center. He'll get better as Wade gets better, and we've seen some good moments from Shaq and some bad moments from Shaq. So that will continue. The other two guys are sort of fantasy reserves, and hopefully they continue to play off the other two guys well. Udonis Haslem having a very good season so far. For the Bulls, it's been very interesting because Luol Deng's injury situation starting to play itself out. He's looking better as of late. Ben Gordon continuing to put up shots, and that's really what he's known for is as a scorer. Ben Wallace, huge game rebounding, Amber, and that's the kind of thing you want to see from him is 15-plus rebounds from him. And then Kirk Heinrich really been a disappointment so far, so hopefully he gets going. All
right, you mentioned Luol Deng's injury situation. We need to talk about injuries. Goodness knows, there's 2007, and of course there's more of them no matter what sport we're talking about. Let's go ahead and start with Tim Duncan.
Yeah, Tim Duncan's the biggest injury, obviously, because of his status and his quality of play. He hurt his knee and his ankle, going to be probably day-to-day. So if you're setting your lineup still before you, or watching this video before you set your lineup, you may want to go in a different direction because they only have 2 games this week. So he's the biggest injury on the list. Carlos Boozer hurt his ankle, and Mehmet Okur for the Utah Jazz hurt his back. So those 2 guys are going to be day-to-day. May miss a game. Boozer's already missed 1 game so far. So could be a tough situation with them. Stephon Marbury dealing with his father's death, may miss a game, but he's starting to play well for the Knicks. LeBron James and Chris Bosh, both guys who have been hurt so far, still not back in their lineups. LeBron dealing with his finger, Bosh dealing with the groin. Both injuries continuing to linger, so that's not a good sign. And then Rasheed Wallace and Jermaine O'Neal both returning from injury, so that's a good thing. Get them back in your lineups because they're playing well.
All right, if these guys are out, though, Jamey, who are some guys that fantasy owners can pick up to maybe help out their lineups and replacement of these guys?
Yeah, you're not going to replace players of this quality with the players that we're going to mention here, but certainly guys that you can add and maybe fill out your fantasy roster just in case they can help you. Fabricio Alberto, the biggest upgrade because if he's going to get some time in the post with Tim Duncan being hurt, the center for the Spurs, so Alberto's a guy to grab. Travis Outlaw, the forward for Portland's playing well. Had a couple of big games this past week, and hopefully that continues. For the Trailblazers, Sebastian Telfair playing great, one of Amber's favorite players. Sebastian Telfair playing well in place of Marco Yarge, who's hurt, and they're also dealing with Randy Foye's injury. So Sebastian Telfair maybe finally starting to get the hang of this NBA thing and start playing well. And then Anthony Carter and Juan Carlos Navarro, 2 guards. Carter replacing the injured Chucky Atkins playing for Denver, and then Juan Carlos Navarro starting for the Grizzlies in place of Damon Stoudemire.
Great documentary, Sebastian Telfair. Anyways, moving on to another option for fantasy owners, though. They can't pick up any of these guys. They might be able to tweak some of their lineups with some position changes.
Yeah, we have that great thing now at CBSSports.com with an eligibility watch. You can check it out in all of your leagues, and hopefully it'll help you with guys who are going to get some new position eligibility at certain spots. Josh Howard now goes officially from forward to guard. Paul Gasol officially from center to forward. And then Jamario Moon, who's going to get a lot of playing time now with Chris Bosh's injury, goes from guard to forward. So 3 guys who may be able to help you out if you need to set your lineup that way.
All right, Jamey, thanks for all of your exceptionally valuable information.
My pleasure.
As always, like every week.
Sebastian Telfair's #1.
Keep your mouths right here at CBSSports.com for everything you need to know in the world of sports. If you missed anything here today, stop, refresh, and rewatch. For Jamey Eisenberg, I'm Amber Wilson. Have a great week, guys.